After watching this video, you will know exactly how the politicians control you. You will know what it is that you respond to. We live in a world where the people in power want to stay in power, and for the most part, they're going to be able to do that. But armed with these laws, you will know what they're doing. And you can use these laws to get yourself in power, whether politically or even in your local office. Now, these laws are not unethical, just like the law of gravity isn't unethical. These are just laws, and you can use them however you wish, both good and bad. So let's begin. Law number 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. For example, in an office setting, your job as an employee is to make your boss look good. A lot of people think that going over the top and impressing them will earn them accolades. If you don't seem like a threat to your boss, then you can learn a lot more from them, and you will have their trust. Law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be wary of friends. They can betray you far more quickly because they can become jealous. Enemies, on the other hand, have no concealed intentions. They already hate you, so you have to learn how to use your enemies, make them work for you. They'll have more to prove, and you won't be surprised if they betray you. Law number 3. Conceal your intentions. Never reveal exactly what you intend to do. If you tell someone how you're going to attack them, then they're going to have time to prepare a defense. Make them wonder what your intentions are. Be unspecific with your language. Be unavailable. But do not ever tell someone your plan of action, because that is how you open yourself up to attack from an enemy. Law number 4. Always say less than necessary. If you talk a lot, you're likely to say something foolish eventually, so keep your mouth shut. Law number 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once you slip up, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. You must have seen this with politicians. This is why the media is so important and why a lot of politicians have connections in the media. Once your character gets assassinated in the public, you can never come back from it. Law 6. Court attention at all cost. No matter what you do, you will be judged by your appearance. So if you want to be in power, stand out. Be conspicuous at all cost. In the past, people used to display their influence in the king's courtroom by wearing expensive coats and extravagant clothing. We still do that nowadays with expensive watches and cars. You might think that these things are too materialistic, but they do make you seem more powerful. Law 7. Get the others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Never do yourself what others can do for you. You don't have all the knowledge and expertise to do all the work that you have to do, and you don't have 10 hands either. But you do have other people around you, so use their blood and sweat to get your work done. Make sure you always take the credit. This will make you seem like an efficient machine while saving you valuable time and energy. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. If you're waiting for someone else to make the first move, you're going to lose. Make them come to you. Make them react first. You can bribe them, seduce them, or use any form of bait. But if you can make them react, they're going to be in your control. You can catch them off balance and attack them where they did not expect. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. If you think that winning in petty arguments with other people will make you seem powerful, then you're very wrong. It makes you look like a petty fool, and you're going to stir up a lot of ill will. If you want to prove someone wrong, prove them wrong through your actions. That is going to make you seem a lot more powerful and in control than winning a verbal argument. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You need to avoid unfortunate and unhappy people at all costs. Misery loves company, and these miserable people are going to drag you down with them. The urge to help these people can sometimes be very tempting, seductive even, but always remember that unhappy people will bring misery to your life as well. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. This is the law about squashing competition before it even becomes a threat. If you teach people how to live without you, sooner or later they're going to abandon you. If you want complete power, people have to depend on you. The more people you have that depend on you, the more freedom you're going to have. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. People are usually wary of each other. If you always seem to be perfect and in control and selfish, then nobody is going to trust you. So be selectively honest. Tell them a secret that you don't really care about, but make it seem like a big deal. Be kind to them in a way that makes it seem like you care about them. This way, you can disarm your victim and take advantage of them. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you want someone to help you, give them a selfish reason to do so. People have shorter memory spans. They're not going to care if you helped them in the past or if you were always kind to them. But if you show that they can make $1 million by helping you, they're going to be very enthusiastic and will assist you in whatever way they can. Don't expect mercy or gratitude from anyone. Law 14. Pose as a friend but work as a spy. Be friendly with people. Make them feel safe with you. Get them to talk about themselves. While doing so, you can spy on them. Ask indirect questions that may not seem like much but will reveal their insecurities and their fears. In order to get power over people, you need to have leverage over them. Spying on them is the best way to extract that information. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. If you want to win, you have to crush your enemy completely. This is why in ancient times, sometimes after killing the enemy king, they would also kill the entire family. I know this seems harsh, but this is the price you have to pay for gaining power. If you leave an enemy partially wounded, he will recover and come back to seek revenge. That's why when you defeat someone, make sure that you destroy them completely so that they can never come back. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. You have to create value through scarcity. If you're always available, then people will start to take you for granted. Be absent for a while. If you're a part of a group, then being unavailable for some time will make you more talked about. Learn to cultivate an aura of mystery by being absent, and that will give you more power over people. Law 17. Keep others suspended in terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Think of it as mingling with the crowd. The deeper you are, the harder it will be to catch you. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. Choose the people you mess with carefully and don't offend someone who's way more powerful than you. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Appear neutral and unbiased and you will have more power. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Get rid of your ego and surrender first. This will unsettle your opponent and they'll not know what to do. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. When looking for sources of power to elevate you, find the one key patron, the fat cow who will give you milk for a long time to come. So for example, if you're trying to get a promotion, identify the one person who's important and focus on them instead of trying to please everyone. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. A courtier knows how to exert his power over others in a graceful and polite manner. Learn how to play the perfect courtier while you're grabbing the power. This way you'll slip by undetected and you won't have people come after you. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. You must seem like a perfect example of civility and efficiency. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and catpaws to disguise your involvement. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. And if you think about it carefully, this is exactly how politicians get their power. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. If you're unsure of a new course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will affect your execution. Enter any situation with audacity, and more likely than not you'll be able to correct any mistakes that you do make. Be timid and shy, and you will be crushed eventually. Law 29. Play all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances and you will know when to stop. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that goes into them and all the other clever tricks must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel like they are in control, but actually they're your puppets. Give people options that come out in your favor, whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. This false illusion of choice removes any suspicion from you. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasies are like oases in the desert. Everyone flocks to them. So give people a fantasy that can capture their imaginations and they will be in your hands. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a chink in the armor. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once you find it, figure out a way to use it to your advantage. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or seeming common will make people disrespect you. A king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying shows that you have no control over your life. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him, and a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you, grand parties and audacious ceremonies to impress your guests. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you're really doing. Law 38. Think as you like but behave like others. This one is really important. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas in orthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to blend in and nurture the common touch. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Anger and emotions are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you will gain an advantage. Make them lose control of their emotions, and then you can easily take advantage of them because they're not in control of how they feel. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. There is no such thing as a free lunch. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. Be wary of anything that seems to be offered for free. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. If you're a successor to a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Go about your own way in a field that is uniquely yours so that you can create your own legacy and have no one who you're compared to. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual. If you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the troubles they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them. They are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble and the sheep will scatter. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Forcing people creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal servant, and the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. The mirror reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies, do exactly as they do. They cannot figure out your strategy. The mirror effect mocks and humiliates them and makes them overreact. This may seem childish, but it works. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. If you are new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a power base, make a show of respecting the old way of doing things. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Appearing better than others is always dangerous, but most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only the gods and the dead have the luxury of looking perfect. Law 47. Do not go past the mark that you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the greatest moment of peril. In the heat of the victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to get to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal and when you reach it, stop. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself up to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. So this was the 48 Laws of Power. You can get the book from the link in the description below. If you liked the video, then please click the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.